Assalamualaikum. Good morning to everyone who's watching us today. This is our third episode of Career of the Future in the STEM fields. Thank you very much for everyone who's with us now. I can see that there are 119 of you who are actually watching live with us now. And I can see the chat box that's going on and on. That's very cool. Keep that shout out coming in. I hope you can hear my voice now because I cannot see my own video on YouTube. So I hope this is all streaming very well and fine. So anyway, welcome again. This is Career of the Future in the STEM fields, the talk series for school, and this is the third episode. Our first episode started last Wednesday. All right, and this is Friday. We had the first episode on Wednesday where we look at science and technology and how it can make the world better. In the second episode yesterday, we look at green tech because the day before was the National Environment Day. And today we have something special outlined, and I have special speakers with me today. Let's let our speaker, Prof. Yusof from Multimedia University, say hi, Prof. Okay, that's Prof. Yusof. And also with us is Encik Hanif Ngadi from the Sustainable Energy Development Authority or SEDA. Encik Yusof say hi. Salah, Encik Hanif. Okay, Encik Hanif dah kata hi. So that's Prof. Yusof, then Encik Hanif. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look into the topic of IR 4.0 and also sustainable energy. And this talk series is brought to you sempena Minggu Sains Negara 2020. So thank you very much for those who are with us. Thank you for the shout out. Good morning, people. Hello. Love it. Put your name, give a shout out. Hashtag your school, hashtag MSN 2020. With us now, we have 1,170 of you, boys and girls. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you being with us today. So without further ado, let me invite Prof. Yusof, who is a lecturer from the Faculty of Engineering in Multimedia University, to share with you what IR 4.0 is and how this could be the career of the future in these STEM fields, especially for you guys. So, Prof, over to you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, everybody. Hopefully everybody is having a lovely Friday morning. Thank you so much to Miss Natalia for their introduction. And thank you for joining us this morning. This is the third series in the for the Minggu Sains Negara. So let me share my slides first. Okay, so my name is Prof. Dr. Muhammad Yusof bin Alias from Multimedia University. The topic that I'm going to take you through today is the journey through IR 4.0. So hopefully everybody will be ready for this journey, right? So before we go much deeper into this topic, I have one question for everybody, right? So the question that I'm going to ask you is probably something that you have seen before. If you have joined the lecture, the talk on Wednesday by Cikgu Lee, she also asked the exact same question. What do you think will be your job in the future? Or what do you think you will be doing in the future? Doesn't matter 5 years, 10 years from now, depending on whether you are in the primary school or secondary school. So to answer this question, please go to slido.com or you can scan the QR code that is given in the slide, and then type in the event code 62684, right? So if you manage to go into slido.com, let me share the window and see how many people have actually joined in. So we can see there are doctors, surgeons, pharmacists, businessmen, prime minister. Wow, they're very good. That is very ambitious, good ambition. Programmer, engineer, we have scientists and so on. Okay, so please keep on answering this question. right? For the time being, we will not be discussing the answers yet, all right? So you will have to wait until towards the end of my talk today. Then we'll go back and see why did I ask this question and why you will need to know about this, yeah? And what is it? What is the relationship between this question to IR 4.0? So you probably are asking these questions, right? Okay, so let's go back to my slide. Let's continue back with our journey. Yeah. Well, most of you are answering that questions. So let's continue with our journey to IR 4.0. So what is IR 4.0, right? Okay, so you probably have seen the word IR 4.0 everywhere. It's in the newspaper, it's on TV, it's been talked about by a lot of people. Probably your teachers are talking about it in schools when they are teaching biology or physics or any science classes. They were talking about IR 4.0, IR 4.0, or sometimes it's called Industry 4.0. But what does IR 4.0 means? Yeah, what does the word IR means? What do you think? So you can shout out in the chat box. What do you think the word IR means? Yeah, IR 4.0. Is it a new member of BTS or a new group member of Blackpink? Or do you think it's one of the characters in Among Us or PUBG or Roblox that you are playing, right? So what is IR 4.0? So what is? Let's look at the first word, the first two letters, I and R. So what does I means and what does R means? Yeah. So the letter I stands for industrial, right? So when we're talking about industrial, the first thing that came to our mind is probably is related to factory, right? And it's actually true. So industrial means something that we are something like a production, something like producing things that we can use in our everyday life. And actually industries are not just related to factories. Industries can be also talking about agriculture industry, you're talking about transportation, you can be talking about nowadays telecommunication industry. So industries can mean a lot of other things, but most of the time it will be related to the factory because this is where all our products are coming from. So you're talking about machines, you're talking about the clothes that we wear, the things that we use every day in our everyday life. So industrial are the words that is related to factories or things that are made out of factories, right? And then the second word R means revolution. So what is revolution? It's a very strong word actually. So when we're talking about revolution, people will think about, oh, the French Revolution or the American Revolution, where they are doing a change in the political organization, overthrowing the government of the ruler of that country, or that kind of thing. But the word revolution actually means a sudden or a radical or complete change of things. That is what it means by revolution. You can also be revolutioning yourself, changing yourself to become better. That is revolution. So when you combine these two together, industrial revolution is a radical change or a sudden change or a complete change of the whole industries. If it is only a minor change, right, just a small change, like for example, if you change the light bulb or if you change the telephone line or if you change the door, that is not called revolution. Revolution is a radical, means it's a very sudden and a complete change, right? Then there is the letter 4.0, or some people call it 4.0. Regardless of which one you prefer to call it, right? It can be 4.0, it can be 4.0, right? So what does 4.0 means? 4.0 means it's the fourth industrial revolution, or it's 4.0. So if there is a 4.0, then there must be a 3.0, a 2.0, and a 1.0. Or else you cannot straight away jump into 4.0. So what was the third industrial revolution? What was the second industrial revolution? Or when does this industrial revolution actually started, right? So the first revolution started around 1760s in the Great Britain, right? And then later on, it was spread to the European countries, and after that, it goes to United States and so on. So when it first started, yeah, the revolution in the first industrial revolution is where people start to use machines to produce things. And these machines at that time, there was no electricity, there was no battery, there's no solar power back in the 1700s. So they were relying on something to move the mechanical. And what they use is steam power or water power, like hydros and so on. So this was the first industrial revolution. And then why do they call it the first industrial revolution? The reason is because before that, in order to produce something, they will need to take a long time. So when there is an industrial revolution with the help of mechanicals, steam-powered mechanicals and water-powered mechanicals, they can produce 10 times, 20 times more products within the same short given of time. So that is the first industrial revolution. Then in the 1800s, there was the second revolution, the second industrial revolution. And this is when people discovered electricity, right? Rather than using the steam-powered machines, they are using electricity to produce the products in the production line. And the number of products that they can produce even bigger compared to the earlier first industrial revolution. So that's why it's called the second industrial revolution. There is a huge change, or the equipments have to be changed because you no longer use the steam powered or the water powered, but now you're using electricity. So this is where the products, there are more productions coming out of the factory. So when is the third industrial revolution? This is back in the 1960s when computer and automation started to build inside the factories. So more and more products can be produced. The machines are no longer, still rely on electrical or electricity, but now there is an additional component that help to produce more products, which is computer and automation. So this is around the 1960s. So you can see the gap between the different industrial revolutions. The first and the second industrial revolutions takes about 100 years, yeah, to go from one industrial revolution to the second industrial revolution. And then it takes about another 100 years to go from the second industrial revolution to the third industrial revolution. So the question now is, what will be the fourth industrial revolution, right? So the fourth industrial revolution is a name that is given to the current trend of automation and data exchange in manufacturing technologies. So we still rely on computer, we still rely on automation, but the additional thing that is in here will be the addition of automation and data exchange, which it also include cyber physical system, IoT, cloud computing, cognitive computing, and all those other jargons that you can read in the news these days, right? The IR 4.0 was actually started around 2012 when a professor from the World Economic Forum called Klaus Schwab introduced this idea, and he produced one book to talk about this fourth industrial revolution. Okay, so to summarize things up, let's look at one YouTube video, which is called What is Industry 4.0 by DeSauter Tools. Yeah, let me share with you the YouTube video. Sorry, let me start all over again. Okay, so that is a video by the Sauter tools, yeah, that you can find on YouTube as well. It's called What is Industry 4.0? So it can give you an overview of what I have talked about from the first Industrial 4.0 up till the fourth Industrial 4.0, right? So things are changing very fast nowadays. You can see that there are a lot of technologies around us. As what you call it, a comparison. For example, these are some of the technologies that we have seen. In order to achieve 100 million users, the telephone that we use in our house, but nowadays not that many people actually have phones in their house, it takes 75 years to reach 100 million users around the world. Whereas in comparison, for smartphone, it takes only 2 years to reach that 100 million users. And do you know that nowadays, for TikTok, it takes only zero point 0.5 months to get 100 million users. So that's how fast things are changing every day in our life, right? So the fast changing is making IR 4.0 very, very important. So why is IR 4.0 is important for you and also for me? One is that you will see in the future, there will be a lot more smart products that will be coming in the market. Even nowadays, you have seen smart TV, you have seen tablets and all the devices, but you will see smart homes coming in with a smart microwave, smart air condition, etc. So it also is important to increase the productivity improvement in terms of quality, especially in the business side. And you also see that IR 4.0 is changing the way that we live today. Everything's become digital. Right? There are so much digitization is getting on. Even when we want to go to shops, we are scanning QR code nowadays. You don't need to write on the books, etc. So there are a lot of digitization that is coming into our daily life. So IR 4.0 is not just about smart factory. When we're talking about industrial, we're talking about factory. But there are a lot of other smart things that will be coming up around us. There are smart buildings, smart mobility, everything is smart, right? So later on, your pen will become smart, your spectacles will become smart, everything will become smart, right? So, and these smart entities will need internet. And this is one of the component of IR 4.0, where it is connecting everything. So that's why it's also called Internet of Things or Internet of Everything. There are a lot of benefits of IR 4.0, but there are also challenges coming up in IR 4.0. You can see the benefits in terms of optimization, customization of things, and there are a lot of research ongoing towards IR 4.0. But at the same time, there will be some challenges for us to face. For example, people were thinking about, what about our security? Right? If everything is connected, so people can see me going everywhere, or people can notice that I go everywhere, right? So there is also in terms of privacy and in terms of cost, right? If businesses want to convert into IR 4.0, then how much cost do they have to invest? And in terms of employment, this is what most people are worried about. If you look in the chat box from yesterday and on Wednesdays, I was looking through the chat box and people were saying that, oh no, robots are going to take our places in our job. So employment will be an issue, right? So the impact of 4.0 or IR 4.0 will create a new and some existing need, and it will significantly disrupt the way that we do what we do today. So the existing industries will be interrupted, especially in terms of the government, in terms of business, and most importantly, what is related to us is when it when it is interrupting people. And one of the main components that is related to you and also to me is in terms of education. That's why in relating the IR 4.0 to education, they also have come out with what is called the Education 4.0. So the training of the new generations, your generations, I'm an old generation, so I'm not. But it's for all. Basically, for the new generations, it's no longer the same traditional way that we teach people in classes. It will be bringing technologies, bringing individuality and discover-based learning. So it's no longer the chalk and talk kind of teaching. So what does Education 4.0 offer? For IR 4.0, there are a lot of things. I think most of this have been covered by Cikgu Lee and also the other speakers on Wednesday. It also involved personalized learning, time and space independent education, project-based learning flexibility, continuous improvement, participation from the student in terms of curriculum, and also in terms of guidance, right? So in terms of job, so this is where we go back to what we have done earlier today, right? What will be the job prospect for IR 4.0, right? According to the World Economic Forum, an estimated 65% of kids, that means you out there watching this right now, right, will be ending up with jobs that haven't even been created. So let's look back at what are the jobs that you have shared with us just now. Right? So it's a typical job. You see data scientist, robot programmer, doctor, software engineer. Oh, some people are saying that they want to be YouTuber, architect, e-sport gamer, surgeon, accountant, vet, scientist. These are all typical jobs, right? But even these typical jobs, they're going to be changed in the future. Right? So doctors may not be the typical doctors that we see today. It will be a virtual doctor. You can be communicating with the doctor somewhere in 300 kilometers away. There will be a software engineer, even an artist, a YouTuber. Right now with the pandemic, people are performing live on YouTube. People are performing live somewhere away from the audience. So things have already begun to change. So you can see even the jobs that you are saying over here, even the jobs that you are thinking right now will be changing in the future. Yeah. So the jobs are changing, right? So these are some of the examples of jobs that have changes for the last 10 years, right? For example, in the past, you probably have taken taxis to go from one place to another. But nowadays, people are taking Grabs, e-hailings, and people are no longer taking the normal taxis. You don't have to wait next to the road to get taxis anymore. So the present job looks at e-hailing. You're using your smartphone to call for taxis, right? But in the future, people are talking about autonomous cars. You will not be calling people, but you may be calling vehicle to come and pick you up at home, right? And you have seen the different jobs even in McDonald's or fast food restaurants. Last time you have to order at the counter. There is a person in front of you taking your order, but nowadays you have to make your own order at the kiosk. If you go to McDonald's or KFC, a lot of these fast food restaurants are moving towards the electronic kiosk where you have to key in your orders, etc. In the future, it may not be that kind of thing anymore. It can be robots taking your orders and delivering your food to your tables, or even delivering your food to your home. So jobs are changing. There are a lot of things that you need to worry, of course, but at the same time, this is something that you cannot help out, right? So in order to minimize your risk from being taken by robots in the future, these are the 5 things that you have to look at and the things that people are studying. And all these items of these 5 things are all related to STEM. The first one, data science, the creativity, problem solving, human connection, data savvy, and also artificial intelligence. Everything is related to science and technology, right? So according to the World Economic Forum back in 2015, they've already predicted in 2025 and beyond, there will be 10% of people will be wearing clothes connected to the internet. There will be 90% of the population with internet access. There will be 10% of vehicles on the road without a driver. There will be autonomous cars. There will be 50% of the home appliances which you will need to worry about will be connected. Microwave, your oven, your teapots, everything will be connected to the internet. And 80% of us, I think most of us already have this, that our space are no longer in your PC, right? The space is already in the cloud. And there are 1 trillion sensors expected to be connected to the internet. And you should expect the 3D printer that is currently very popular now can even build one whole automobile by 2025. So in conclusion, so what we can see here, right? Hopefully you have gone through this IR 4.0 journey and you have learned something from here. So just remember that IR 4.0 is here and no way that you can run away from it, right? You cannot run away and you cannot hide from it. It is here, you have to face it. But what you can do, right, is to adapt yourself to the changes and gain the proper skills through STEMs, right? With that, I hope you have learned something today, right? And I hope you have enjoyed the talk or the journey through the IR 4.0. Thank you very much. If you are interested in the Faculty of Engineering, of course, you can follow us on Facebook at MMUFOE, or you can go to our Instagram, MMU@Engineering. Thank you very much, everybody. And back to you, Ms. Natalia.
Thank you very much, Prof. Yusuf. Thank you very much for the lovely insight and bringing us to the journey of IR 4.0. I think there's a very huge information and very concise that you have shared with us the journey. I hope the 1,716 of you boys and girls out there who are watching us now live could see how this journey is not that so future, but it's pretty much here already. What we're trying to do is to share with you and give insights that how important it is for you to stay or keep on learning or having the passion and interest in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, because these are fundamentally the importance subjects or importance knowledge and skill for the IR 4.0 era. But actually, among all that Prof. Yusuf has said, I would like to highlight this. If you guys think engineers are geeks and nerds who, don't know about cool stuff, not in Multimedia University. Our professor of engineering just said Blackpink and BTS, PUBG and e-games. How many cool professors of engineering do you guys know who know what BTS is? So anyway, Prof, thank you very much. It was a very good sharing. I hope the 1,752 of you boys and girls have a glimpse of what IR 4.0 is and also what it means to you, that what would you have to do and pick up so that you will be ready. This is like having you are the Nusa harapan nusa dan bangsa. You are our future generation. You are our future hope. So speaking of you are our future, let me invite our second speaker, Encik Hanif Ngadi from Sustainable Energy Development Authority, SEDA, who will be sharing on what does it entails in sustainable energy and you. So without further ado, the floor is yours, Encik Hanif.
Okey, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera adik-adik dan para pendengar lah semua. Okey, jadi tibalah giliran saya untuk membentangkan slide saya lah, tugas yang diamanahkan iaitu untuk membincangkan tentang tajuk prospektif kerjaya yang berkaitan dengan tenaga lestari. Okey, saya harapkan adik-adik di rumah jaga kesihatan bila ada urusan di luar tu, pastikan semuanya mengikut SOP yang dinasihatkan lah oleh pihak berkuasa. Okey, saya terus kepada slide pembentangan saya. Okey. 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 Baik. Okey. Saya harap di luar sana nampak slide perbincangan saya ni. Jadi tajuk yang diamanahkan adalah untuk kita membincangkan tentang perspektif kerjaya berkaitan tentang tenaga lestari. Okey adik-adik, tajuk ni sebenarnya sangat spesifik kepada tenaga lestari lah. Apa kerjaya yang kita boleh ceburi selepas alam pembelajaran kita menerusi tenaga lestari ataupun kita panggil sustainable energy lah. Jadi kalau kita bercakap tenaga lestari ni ada dua perkara. Yang pertama sama ada kita energy efficiency, kecekapan tenaga ataupun renewable energy. Itu tenaga boleh baharu. Jadi dua-dua perkara ini adalah berkaitan tenaga lestari. Jadi untuk yang topik yang kita nak bincangkan ni, tenaga lestari ni, kita akan pergi dalam terus kepada satu topik khusus iaitu renewable energy, tenaga boleh baharu. Okey. Sebelum kita buat mengkaji atau menyemak fakta-fakta, jadi saya perkenalkan diri saya dululah. Nama saya Hanif bin Adi. Saya adalah seorang jurutera, mempunyai pengalaman lebih kurang 20 tahun dalam pemeliharaan tenaga dan sekarang bekerja di SEDA Malaysia. SEDA Malaysia itu adalah Sustainable Energy Development Authority Malaysia dan di bahagian operasi pasaran lah. Okey, kita ada Papa Zola dekat sini. Jadi dalam kita menyemak atau mengkaji tajuk yang kita nak bincangkan ni, kita mesti faham lah, kita mesti ada tujuan. Lepas tu nanti kita akan pergi ke dalam mencari fakta tu, kita perhatikan apa maklumat-maklumat yang kita boleh gunakan sebagai panduan kita, dan nanti di akhir pembincangan ni adik-adik dan kita semua nanti akan dapat melihat apa kesimpulannya ni, keputusan dan kesimpulan yang berkaitan dengan tajuk kita. Jadi tujuan kita ni adalah untuk kita kenal dan adaptasi, fahami apa itu tenaga lestari atau lebih kepada spesifik kepada renewable energy, tenaga boleh baharu, dan akhirnya apa yang kita boleh kaitkan dengan perspektif kerjaya kita. Okey, jadi dalam kita mengkaji ni, Papa Zola pun ada bercakap, kebenaran tak pernah cakap kosong. Okey, adik-adik? Okey, so kita mengkaji, kita akan buat pemerhatian yang pertama lah. Jadi untuk soalan yang pertama ni, tahukah adik-adik mana yang lebih penting, api ataupun air? Kalau kita lihat situasi semasa sekarang ni, baru-baru ni kita tengah hangat diperkatakan isu berkenaan air lah di Selangor ni lah khususnya kan. Dan juga kadang-kadang kita pun ada pengalaman juga tak ada api. Api ni maksudnya ni air lah kan. Api ni adalah elektrik. Jadi mana yang lebih penting? Api ataupun air dalam kehidupan kita? Okey. Jadi abang nak beritahu lah, sebenarnya dua-dua ni adalah penting. Tak kisahlah boy api ke, boy air ke, dua-dua ni sama penting. Sebab apa? Okey, tanpa api, air tu kita sebenarnya tak boleh nak disalurkan kepada pengguna. Sebab kita gunakan pump, pump tu menggunakan kuasa elektrik. Maksud abang tadi tu api lah, kuasa elektrik. Jadi tanpa pump, air tidak dapat disalurkan. Jadi pentingnya api tadi itu. Air pun begitu juga, penting juga untuk api, sebab dalam sistem penjanaan api itu sendiri kita perlukan air. Air adalah satu elemen penting dalam sistem penjanaan api. Sama ada dia sebagai sistem penyejukan ataupun medium untuk kita menukarkan satu tenaga ke tenaga yang lain. Okey. Jadi adik-adik kena ingat, api ataupun tenaga elektrik itu sama penting dengan air. Dua-dua terbaik. Okey, mari kita menyusuri lagi apa yang dikatakan dengan air itu. Unsur air. Unsur air ataupun kita panggil molekul H2O. Ianya terdiri daripada dua atom hidrogen dan juga satu atom oksigen. Jadi macam mana kita nak tahu ni? Ini adik-adik mesti dah belajar kan di tingkatan 1. Tadi abang baru tanya anak abang tadi tu, ada seorang tu dia baru tingkatan 1. Dia kata dah belajar belum dia ni? Dah masuk uji kaji belum? Dia kata dah. Tingkatan 1 dah belajar ni. Macam mana kita nak pecahkan atom-atom yang terkandung dalam air? Jadi melalui proses penguraian air, elektrolisis. Adik-adik dah tahu kan dalam buku teks tu mengatakan apabila ada dua rod positif dan negatif dikenakan kuasa elektrik di dalam air akan menghasilkan gelembung-gelembung lah, bubble. Jadi dalam gelembung tersebut ada gas hidrogen dan juga gas oksigen. Jadi sifat gas hidrogen ni adalah satu sumber, adalah bahan api, dia mudah terbakar. Mudah terbakar, dan sifat oksigen ni pula adalah unsur peroksidaan. Jadi dengan dua-dua elemen ni, dua-dua atom ni, hidrogen dan oksigen ni, kita boleh gunakan dia sebagai sama ada sebagai sumber bahan api ataupun sebagai unsur untuk melengkapkan proses tidak balas eksotermik. Bahan bakar tambah oksigen akan berlakulah pembakaran dan menghasilkan api. Kalau kita lihat dalam slide ni, abang ada tunjuk ada satu schematic diagram. Ini adalah jana kuasa daripada bahan api fosil. Bahan api fosil ni contohnya macam arang batu, minyak, gas. Jadi untuk menghasilkan tenaga elektrik, jadi sumber-sumber bahan api itu perlu dibakar menjadi api. Kita tukar daripada satu bentuk tenaga kepada bentuk tenaga yang lain sehingga kita menghasilkan tenaga elektrik. Okey. Ini dia proses elektrolisis tadi yang abang bincangkan tadi. Ini sekolah menengah tingkatan 1 kita ada belajar ni lah. Jadi gelombang-gelombang yang dikeluarkan dalam air ni adalah oksigen dan juga hidrogen. Inilah macam mana Boboiboy dia buat pemecahan elemental kuasa dia. Mungkin macam ni lah kot, kan? Okey, baik. Okey, seterusnya kita akan bincangkan pasal unsur api pula. Unsur api ni dalam kehidupan adalah satu unsur yang sangat penting. Kalau kita semak semula, kita rujuk balik apa yang dibincangkan tadi oleh Profesor Yusof berkenaan dengan revolusi, daripada revolusi 1, 2, 3, 4 semua memerlukan tenaga. Kita panggil api itu sebagai tenaga lah. Jadi kalau kita merujuk kepada zaman batu dulu, unsur api ni bila ditemukan macam-macam benda boleh dibuat. Contohnya masak makanan bertambah lagi rasa dia lagi sedap. Okey, lepas tu dengan api tersebut digunakan untuk mengubah kepada membuat teknologi yang lain. Contohnya buat rumah kita perlukan bridge tu, batu bata tu kita kena bakar. Lepas tu tempat perhiasan kita gunakan api juga diperlukan untuk membuat suatu bahan ataupun teknologi. Jadi api di sini sebenarnya yang abang rujuk adalah kepada arus elektrik lah, arus elektrik. Sebab apa arus elektrik ni? Sebab ia mudah dialirkan dan dibekalkan kepada pengguna. Jadi Kalau kita bincang pasal api tu, tenaga ni sebenarnya kita tak boleh nak cipta, sebab tenaga ni memang ada di mana-mana. Cuma kita boleh bentukkan dia merubah pada bentuk yang lain. Daripada api tadi tu contohnya, kita ubah kepada tenaga elektrik. Sebab apa tenaga elektrik adalah tenaga yang sangat kita panggil efisien lah, sebab mudah untuk kita alirkan kepada pengguna. Kalau api, contohnya macam abang buat api sekarang ni, kan abang nak salurkan api ke rumah jiran kan, macam mana, melalui pipe ke? Tidak mungkin kan. Jadi tenaga elektrik itulah yang mudah untuk kita bekalkan dan salurkan kepada pengguna. Okey, jadi sumber bahan api ni kita ada kayu, kita ada minyak, gas, arang batu untuk menghasilkan tenaga. Jadi kalau kita sebut pasal minyak, gas dan arang batu, ini semuanya adalah sumber tenaga fosil. Dikategorikan sebagai tenaga fosil. Semua jenis bahan api ini adalah sumber semula jadi. Tetapi yang membezakan minyak, gas dan arang batu dengan sumber-sumber lain seperti kayu ataupun yang kita nak bincangkan nanti, renewable energy, tenaga boleh baharu, adalah sumber bahan api fosil ni kita susah nak dapatkan semula. Berjuta-juta tahun baru kita boleh dapat. Jadi minyak yang dihasilkan sekarang ni adalah hasil daripada punca-punca organik zaman dinosaur dulu, dan tumbuh-tumbuhan pada ketika itu melalui proses tekanan dan haba lalu menjadilah bahan api seperti minyak, gas dan arang batu. Jadi renewable energy ni adalah suatu sumber yang kita boleh wujudkan semula, tidak perlu menunggu sehingga berjuta-juta tahun. Jadi okey, bolehkah tenaga dihasilkan dari air, angin ataupun keamatan cahaya? Kalau dalam gambar yang kecil ni, abang dah bagi tip dah ni lah. Sebenarnya boleh. Ini adalah sumber-sumber yang dikategorikan sebagai renewable energy, tenaga boleh baharu. Kalau kita lihat matahari ni, daripada keamatan cahaya, asal sumber tenaga itu adalah keamatan cahaya dan kita tukar kepada satu bentuk tenaga yang lain, iaitu elektrisiti. Begitu juga dengan sumber tenaga daripada angin. Sumber tenaga kinetik lah daripada angin, dia akan menggerakkan secara mekanikal kipas-kipas dan seterusnya menjanakan elektrisiti. Okey. Kemudian boleh juga tadi yang kita bincangkan pasal air, oksigen dan hidrogen tadi tu. Hidrogen tadi adalah dia punya sifat dia membakar kan. Jadi kita boleh wujudkan semula melalui air, elektrolisis, proses elektrolisis. Jadi kita boleh gunakan hidrogen sebagai sumber bahan api renewable energy, tenaga boleh baharu. Okey. Baik. Inilah yang tadi kita bincangkan pasal air tadi, hidrogen dan oksigen. Jadi hasil daripada pembakaran tu, kalau dia punya ratio tu samalah, 2 hidrogen, 1 oksigen, dan melalui proses letupan tertentu akan menghasilkan air. Jadi kalau kita lihat balang-balang ni, botol ni, mereka sedang cuba ambil uap air itulah hasil daripada pembakaran hidrogen. Okey. Baik, seterusnya pentingnya elektrisiti bukan sahaja dalam kehidupan seharian kita, tapi sebenarnya dalam tubuh kita sendiri pun kita ada tenaga elektrik sendiri. Adik kena tahu macam mana fungsi jantung kita ni sebenarnya. Dalam jantung kita tu ada satu elemen yang menghasilkan renjatan elektrik. So renjatan ini dia akan menyebabkan otot-otot jantung kita mengembang, mengecut. Jadi tapi arus elektrik ini sangat rendah lah. Hanya cukup sekadar untuk mengepam jantung kita. Tujuan dia bila fungsi jantung ni mengepam darah ni, dapatlah kita punya nutrien, kita punya oksigen dapat disalurkan ke seluruh tubuh. Jadi abang nak beritahu ni, kepentingan sumber tenaga tu, elektrisiti tu sangat penting. Dalam badan kita pun ada. Jadi dalam kehidupan kita pun kita tidak boleh lari daripada menggunakan tenaga lah. Okey, kita bincang dekat sini pula untuk jenis dan beza sumber tenaga. Tadi mungkin abang ada cerita sikit tadi tu, yang slide sebelum ni. Kita ada jenis dalam bentuk pepejal, ada jenis cecair dan juga gas. Okey, yang koko tu abah tu pun ada tenaga juga. Tapi itu untuk puasa spera saja. Itu tak tahulah betul tak betul. Tapi tenaga dia tu memang adalah untuk kesihatan tubuh badan lah mungkin kan. Jadi yang kita nak bincangkan ni sumber tenaga yang boleh menghasilkan api ataupun elektrisiti. Jadi kita boleh kategorikan kepada dua. Sama ada boleh diperbaharui dan tidak boleh diperbaharui. Yang abang dah ceritakan tadi itu, yang boleh diperbaharui adalah sumber-sumber yang kita boleh wujudkan semula dengan cepat lah. Berbanding dengan yang tidak boleh berbaharui ini, nak kena tunggu berjuta-juta tahun. Okey, kalau kita nak hasilkannya sekarang, untuk yang bahan sumber tenaga yang tidak boleh diperbaharui ini, kita ni sebagai sumber organik ni, kita kena mati dulu dan akan selepas berjuta-juta tahun kemudian baru kita ni akan jadi gas, akan jadi minyak digunakan pada manusia pada ketika itu. Jadi ada dua kategori, boleh diperbaharui dan tidak boleh diperbaharui. Okey, kategori yang lain pula, dia ada pencemaran dan tidak mencemarkan alam sekitar. Ini adalah faktor yang paling penting sekarang ni lah. Okey, jadi dalam kita membina IR 4.0 yang dibentangkan oleh Prof Yusof tadi itu, kita tidak boleh lari. Kita kena masukkan elemen faktor-faktor yang sepatutnya tidak mencemarkan alam sekitar. Okey, jadi kalau kita lihat contoh-contoh tadi ni yang dekat slide ni, kita ada arang batu lah. Kalau adik-adik tak pernah tengok arang batu, ini arang batu ni. Dia keras ni macam batu, tapi dia lebih kurang macam arang kayu, macam arang kayu. Tapi ini nak menghasilkannya memang ambil masa yang lama, berjuta-juta tahun. Tapi memang sekarang ni kalau kita lihat tenaga elektrisiti yang kita dapat sekarang ni, tenaga elektrik yang kita dapat adalah kebanyakannya dijanakan daripada sumber fosil, sumber tenaga fosil. Sebab apa? Memang tidak dinafikan sumber-sumber tersebut adalah sangat efisien. Disebabkannya kandungan sumber tenaga dalam setiap sumber tersebut, contoh arang batu ke minyak ke gas, dia sama je, memang efisien. Kalau kita nak sekian banyak tenaga, dia boleh hasilkan sekian banyak tenaga. Berbanding dengan yang tenaga boleh baharu ni, dia ada faktor-faktor lain yang menyebabkan dia kurang sikit efisien, tapi yang membezakannya dia tidak mencemarkan alam sekitar. Kalau kita bandingkan dengan contohnya tenaga matahari tadi kan, dalam satu hari kita ada 24 jam, tetapi hanya 12 jam saja kita dapat menggunakan matahari itu tersebut. Jadi waktu malam dah tak dapat, kita kena cari sumber lain pula.
Okay. Minta maaf Encik Hanif, Hanif ada 5 minit lagi.
Okey, baik.
Terima kasih.
Dah nak habis dah ni.
Okey.
Dah nak habis. Okey, baik. Jadi abang tadi pernah bercakap tentang hasil dari pembakaran tadi, kita akan ada sebahagian sumber tenaga tu akan mencemarkan alam sekitar. Jadi salah satu gas yang akan dihasilkan adalah carbon dioxide, CO2. Okey, sebenarnya sebahagian daripada carbon dioxide itu akan diserap oleh tumbuhan dalam proses fotosintesis. Tapi ke mana pula sebahagian yang lain? karbon dioksida ini akan terampai di atmosfera dan hasilnya akan menjadikan bumi kita ini seperti rumah hijau, meningkatkan suhu global. Jadi kesan dia kualiti udara tidak sihat, pencairan air di kutub utara dan selatan sehingga meningkatkan paras air laut lah. Okey, adik-adik nak tahu tak? Kajian mendapati setiap seorang ni boleh menyumbangkan karbon dioksida di antara 4 hingga 8 tan setiap tahun. Jadi nak tahu 1 tan tu besar mana? 1 tan tu kalau kita tengok dekat gambar kecil ni, ini belon yang besar ditiupkan dengan karbon dioksida setinggi 3 tingkat. Ini 1 tan. Tapi setahun kita menghasilkan berapa? 4 tan, 7 tan, 8 tan setiap tahun. Jadi pokok yang ada ni mungkin tak dapat nak menyerap semua karbon dioksida. Jadi di mana mereka pergi, karbon dioksida ni akan terampai di atmosfer. Okey. Baik. Okey, jadi kita hampir ke penghujung dia ni. Carian fakta kita ni, kita akan dapati kepentingan tenaga dalam kehidupan ni adalah satu keperluan. Kita tidak larilah revolusi mana pun, revolusi 1, 2, 3, 4 hingga 5 pun memang kepentingan tenaga tu adalah satu keperluan. Tapi juga kena ingat kepentingan menjaga alam sekitar. Kepentingan menjaga alam sekitar ni adalah tanggungjawab bersama. Masing-masing perlu memainkan peranan bersama untuk menjaga alam sekitar. Jadi dalam kita memilih sumber tenaga tu mesti tepatlah, kena betul. Kita ada pilihan tenaga boleh baharu ataupun tenaga api fosil. Jadi untuk masa depan hari ini, kesejahteraan hari ini dan masa depan, kita kena pilih satu sumber tenaga yang memberi manfaat kepada semua lah dan berkekalan. Baik, kita dah sampai ke penghujung dia. Jadi diharapkan daripada fakta-fakta analisa dari sumber maklumat yang kita bincangkan tadi ni, kita dapat memahami apakah itu tenaga lestari ataupun kita spesifikkan kepada tenaga boleh baharu lah. Jadi sumber tenaga boleh baharu ni suatu sumber yang kita boleh janakan semula. Abang dah bagi contoh tadi, kayu kita boleh gunakan. Kita ni Malaysia ni adalah kedua terbesar ladang kelapa sawit kan. Jadi sumber-sumber tersebut tu daripada hasil penghilangan tu kita boleh gunakan sebagai sumber bahan api. Okey. Jadi keduanya penggunaannya tidak atau kurang mencemarkan alam sekitar. Itu satu perkara yang penting lah. Dan juga kos operasi dan selenggara yang rendah. Selain daripada memberi manfaat kesihatan dan sumber-sumber asli ni kita tidak bergantung kepada negara lain. Sebab negara kita sendiri banyak sumber tenaga tersebut kita boleh gunakan. Bahaya kalau kita bergantung kepada negara lain, sumber-sumber bahan api ini, kalau mereka hentikan pembekalan, so kita dah tak boleh dah nak menjanakan tenaga dan industri kita pun dah tak boleh nak berjalan. Jadi kita perlu mencarilah sumber-sumber tenaga yang ada di dalam negara sendirilah. Terlalu banyak sebenarnya. Okey. Jadi apa yang kita boleh kaitkan tadi, pemahaman kita tentang tenaga lestari tadi dengan peluang kerjaya. Sebenarnya kita tidak ada pilihan. Tadi kita tengok senarai-senarai kerjaya yang ditunjukkan oleh Prof Yusof tadi itu. Ada nak jadi profesor, ada nak jadi guru, nak jadi macam-macam kerjaya lah. Tapi daripada pengetahuan yang kita ada sekarang ni, kita aplikasikan mestilah berteraskan kepada keselamatan, kesihatan dan alam sekitar. Sebab apa? Alam sekitar itu adalah tanggungjawab bersama. Kalau nak cerita pasal pengalaman abang, memanglah dulu kita nak jadi superhero, nak jadi doktor untuk menyelamatkan orang. Tapi sebenarnya kalau kita apa-apa kerjaya pun, kalau kita melibatkan elemen alam sekitar ni, kita telah menyelamatkan seluruh dunia sebenarnya. Okey. Jadi itulah tanggungjawab bersama untuk kelangsungan hidup sejahtera kini dan generasi masa hadapan. Okey, dan saya rasa saya punya slide presentation dah habis. Terima kasih dan harap tujuan kita bincangkan topik ini dapat difahami dan akhir sekali kita boleh membuat keputusan dan kesimpulannya lah apa yang kita boleh adaptasi daripada pembelajaran ini untuk kerjaya kita masa hadapan. Okey, baik, terima kasih. Saya serahkan semula kepada Puan Natalia.
Terima kasih Encik Hanif. Terima kasih atas perkongsian yang sangat baik itu. Thank you boys and girls who are still with us. There are 1,915 of you guys and I can see the chat going on and on. I love the engagement. I love the STEM love and I also acknowledge some of your comments that you have put up there. Treat it as an options. We gave you some in Malay, some in English. You can pick the options for more interesting content that would be tailor-made more to your likings, whether it's in English or in Bahasa Malaysia. You can go to STEM for All Makerspace Facebook, like their page, and there are gonna be many more activities that gonna be, better suited to what you currently prefer to have. Same thing, I would have to give a shout out to Nizam Razak, the creator of Bobo Boy and the founder of Animonsta, who happens to be an alumni of Multimedia University from my faculty itself, Faculty of Creative Multimedia. If I'm not mistaken, Nizam Razak is a pure science student before he joined Multimedia University. So, for you to do 3D animation and cartoon, do storytelling, if you come from the STEM background, you will be able to apply all this into cool storytelling and characters that have all those interesting superpower, whatnot. On Wednesday, Dr. Sin has also shared with you how Tony Stark is perhaps the only superhero that does not have supernatural power, where anyone like you and me could be the next Iron Man or Iron Lady because of STEM. So again, thank you very much, Encik Hanif. Animonsta, thank you very much. Encik Hanif have used Bobo Boy as an example to kupaskan mengenai sustainable energy. Therefore, thank you very much to both speakers, Prof. Yusof and Encik Hanif. I hope all of you out there have been listening to how STEM is the fundamentals that cannot be avoided, that will be basically what you will need to propel into IR 4.0 and also having a sustainable world and energy. Adakah STEM itu susah? Coming from, being a pure science student previously also, no joke. It is difficult. Having someone who did, coding and robotics ini memang susah. But that susah is something that you can overcome and the rewards would be very great at the end. And Prof. Yusof has shown that, engineers are not necessarily geeks. We have cool engineers who can do many things, including playing PUBG. We can have another session and Prof. Yusof can show, macam mana PUBG, So Natalia versus Prof. Yusof. Speaking of Natalia, tadi Encik Hanif ada banyak kata dia abang-abang. Natalia pun rasa macam, oh my God, I'm so old. I'm definitely a makcik here. So to make it vogue sikit, jadi acik lah, tak yalah makcik. Okay, so before we end this, I know all of you are so good at tune in until the end. Therefore, this is how you can claim or this is how you get your e-cert. Thank you very much for the overwhelming response. Be also very patient with us because the organizer led by Mr. Ramesh would have to be processing about 3,000 certs every day to get it to you. We will be sending it to your mailbox by end of this month. But for further information, how you can get your cert, I will now pass this floor for Mr. Ramesh to explain how you can get. Don't hate us because you have not gotten your certs. Yesterday, some of you are already hating us. It makes makcik-makcik very sad, when you guys hate us. So let us explain how you can get your cert. So Mr. Ramesh, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for Natalia. It's a wonderful anchoring. So we have found a new Archie to anchor these STEM programs in future. Thanks all. Thank you to all our students. All right. I think I'll immediately address the issue of certificates. Yeah. As Natalia has mentioned, please be patient because we are processing an average of about 3,000 certificates a day. And so there's a lot of confusion. So we would like to make it very clear that this certificate is only available to those who have joined us in the live streaming and who have engaged with us, meaning you have made a shout out, you have commented, or you've just followed it. As long as you have followed it, then at the end of this session, there will be a link. I just show you some of it. I hope I can turn on my presentation slides. This time it appears. All right, if I go into this presentation slide and I share this. All right, do you see it? Is it appearing for Natalia?
Yes, yes, it's loading up. Yes.
Okay, all right. So now at the end of the YouTube, this was yesterday's session. So what you would see is that there's a Google form that appears here. We will thank all participants and this is how you can claim. So basically you click on this link, all right? So once you click on this link, then it will take you to a Google form and it will say participation search. All you have to do is fill in your name, your email address, and share this. All right. I mean, you just share this. We will receive your database and we will process the certificate. So this is how the certificate will appear. So it will say career of the future. So in this case, if you participated in the third series, then this name will appear. All you have to do is just type in your name, how you wish your name to appear on the certificate. All right. So then this certificate will be processed within the next 3 to 4 days. So you will receive it definitely not later than the 31st of October. Right. So that's very simple. Huh? So you have to watch the video. You have to go to our STEM for All Makerspace YouTube channel to copy this link. Some of the, if you don't stay on to the end, and then this is where the confusion arises. All right. And also this link that I showed you earlier, this link will only appear for about 2 hours. All right. So we will take the link out so that only those who genuinely watch this video will be able to see this link and copy and shares your information. All right. So before I end, I'd just like to also let you know our fourth and final series is called Interdisciplinary Innovation. And we have got another 2 very distinguished speakers from MMU and Levanest to share with them about innovations of the future. So being a Saturday, I hope you'll be up early and join us at about 10:30 to 11:30 to watch the final episode or final series on careers of the future. And for those who are still very involved, I mean, I received a lot of very engaging comments on that. You like STEM, you like renewable energy. We welcome you to participate in our next series. On the 31st of October, we have a quiz on the theme of hydropower. So please log into our STEM for All Makerspace, and we will share with you what's coming in the coming days. All right. So with that, I think I will pass back I will stop sharing this, and I would like to again thank all the speakers for the wonderful presentations that you gave today. Prof. Muhammad Yusuf, your presentation was excellent. I've seen quite a few on IR 4.0. I think this is one of the nicer ones for kids to really appreciate, kids as well as teachers. So what we will be doing, then we will be compressing these videos and then we'll be uploading it in our various websites together with SEDA. Or if I've forgotten to mention about the Pesanan Penaja, I think I just take this opportunity, bear with me. I would like to thank all our sponsors, in particular Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation for this Minggu Science Negara, and SEDA, our strategic partner, for coming with us and making this talk and this presentation possible. Thank you to SEDA, and we look forward to more such presentation. Thank you, Cik Hanif, also for sharing about the renewable energy. I think it was a very engaging session, and most students will be at least encouraged to pursue further on these disciplines. All right, back to you, Natalia.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ramesh. Okay, so I hope you boys and girls who are still with us, there are 1,927 of you who are watching live now. So basically, where you can get your cert is go to the description box where STEM for All Makerspace YouTube is, where you are here now. At the description, there is a link that we're going to post. Click on that link, fill in the form. Then Mr. Ramesh and team will be processing it. Bear with us. We have not fully gone automated on this. It's not IR 4.0 yet. Not fully automated. When Mr. Ramesh will actually do it manually, put in your name, everything, and you will be getting your cert, inshallah, by end of this month. So do not expect to click the button and you will be getting it in like 5 seconds. Mr. Ramesh has not been upgraded into
Not yet.
a robot, right, Mr.
Not
Ramesh?
yet.
So that's
Yes.
how you can get your cert. So now the next confusion gonna be, where do I get my cert if I have missed it yesterday or the day before? If you have missed on the Wednesday's link, it's okay. We're gonna look at the chat box where you have shout out your name and also your school. If you have missed yesterday's, don't worry. If it worries you so much, email us to the STEM for All Makerspace email that have given you link and say that I actually attended. This is the screen capture, whatnot, and Mr. Ramesh and his team will be able to respond to you. So we hope you will also gain more than just the cert, but the knowledge on what all this content that we have shared with you. Please join us tomorrow. Tomorrow gonna be an interesting session because it will show and share with you how STEM is not just science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, but it's actually creating innovation for human impact. We would want you to see how whatever we do in STEM is for the betterment of human and the world. So please sign up if you have not. Join us tomorrow. So I am Natalia and I'm from Multimedia University. Don't forget to follow and look for us, like us. This is where I was, always wanting to be a tuber and say, Prof Yusuf dengan I selalu kata, don't forget to hit the like button, follow, subscribe us, give us the 2 thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow. So I'm Natalia signing off for Career of the Future in the STEM fields. Goodbye, everyone.